This conference will now be recorded.
علی اللہ مدد فرما، علی اللہ مدد فرما، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، علی اللہ مدد فرما، علی اللہ مدد فرما، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، علی اللہ مدد فرما، علی اللہ مدد فرما، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، علی اللہ مدد فرما، علی اللہ مدد فرما، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، علی اللہ مدد فرما، علی اللہ مدد فرما، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، علی اللہ مدد فرما، علی اللہ مدد فرما، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، علی اللہ مدد فرما، علی اللہ مدد فرما، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، الواحد القہار، القہار، اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد، 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 اللہم صلی علی اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد، شکراً للہ والحمد للہ، شکراً للہ والحمد للہ۔ Ya Ali Madad Aziz sir, Ya Ali Madad all friends online.
याली मदद याली मदद बहुत खूब सुभान अल्लाह बहुत नवाजिश तमाम साथियों को या अली मदद thank you for joining us again today inshallah with Imam's help Imam's mercy we will continue on our part 19 of the Ilm wa Amal in our Jamaat Khana series. Today we have picked subject of Satara, 7 days of intention. Let's start with Imam's blessed name, Nur Maulana Shah Karimul Hussaini Hazri Imam, Ya Maulay Mehrban, Madad Farma, Ya Maulay Mehrban, Madad Farma, Ya Maulay Mehrban, Madad Farma, Madad Farma, Ya Maulay Mehrban, Tawfiq, Tahid, Himmat wa Yari Maula, Tawfiq, Tahid, Himmat wa Yari Maula, Ya Maulay Mehrban, Madad, Ya Maula, हम गरीबों की अपने नूर से मदद फरमा मौला या मौला अपने नूर से हम गरीबों की हिदायत फरमा मौला तेरे ही नूर की रोशनी में मौला हम सिरातल मुस्तकीम पर चल सके इस इल्म को सुनकर समझकर उस पर अमल कर सके मौला या मौलाए मेहरबान मदद फरमा मदद फरमा That is true that without Imam's help and without his mercy we will not be able to do anything. We would not be here without his wish and will. We are very fortunate that over us, physically, spiritually, and intellectually, Imam Zaman is looking over. He is continuing to guide us. His Noor and the light of his Noor is continue to show us this path. And on this path, there are a lot of blessings, lot of barakat. And Shukr Mullah that he has chosen us to have this ilm. Our today's subject, Satara, very common in our tariqah, but this tradition of itikaf is not new nor is limited to our tariqah. The word itikaf, intention, of doing something is not limited to religion only, but that can be done for other physical benefits as well as intellectual benefits, as we do it for our spiritual benefit. Within the Islam and within the other religions, they may have itikaf intention of 3 days, 7 days, 11 days, 40 days. Amongst this, 40 days itikaf is very normal and probably probably most common used. Hazrat Musa would go for 40 days itikaf of ibadat on Koh Tur. Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam would go to Gare Hira for 40 days itikaf of ibadat. And it is very common in Sufism, where they would keep roza and take takiya. They would go into these places. Sometimes this can be done individually, solo, or this could be done in a group. In a group. When we do our Satada, that is done at the Jamaati level in a group. Same tradition is in the Sufism and other different tariqas of Islam, and you will find this in Christianity, Judaism, and I am sure, I have not done any research on that, even in Hinduism. That tells us that this is a practice which has been used by humans and by all of the religion, and it is very common. When, where, and how, and for what purpose may be different. But this practice is very common and is not only reserved for our Jamaat. यहाँ पर हमारे उर्दू स्पीकिंग दोस्तों के लिए थोड़ा सा उर्दू में समझाने की जरूरत है कि जो हम सतारा और उसकी प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, ये कोई नई या हमारे मजहब तक महदूद नहीं है, बल्कि दुनिया में जितने भी मज़ाहिब हैं, तमाम के अंदर इत्तिकाफ के नाम से, इंटेंशन के नाम से कुछ दिनों तक प्रैक्टिस की जाती है. कभी ये 3 दिन का इत्तिकाफ यानी कि सतारा होता है, कभी 7 दिन का, कभी 11 दिन का, कभी 40 दिन का। और उसमें जो 40 दिन का सतारा है वो सबसे ज्यादा कॉमन है। जिस तरह 2 मिसालें हमने ली कि हजरत मूसा कोए तूर पर 40 दिन की इबादत के लिए जाया करते थे, यानी कि वो 40 दिन का इंटेंशन इत्तिकाफ या सतारा, और वो इंडिविजुअल यानी कि इनफिरादी तौर पर करते थे। इसी तरह से हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम भी 40 दिन का इत्तिकाफ इबादत का जाती तौर पर करते और कोए तूर पर जाते। और ये बहुत ही कॉमन है मज़ाहिब के अंदर, तमाम मज़ाहिब के अंदर, चाहे वो इस्लाम हो, क्रिश्चियनिटी हो, जुडिज्म हो, हिंदुइज्म हो, सब जगह पर ये कॉमन है। यानी कि ये हमारे मजहब के लिए खास नहीं है, सब जगह पर ये रिवाज चला आता है। इसके अंदर 2 किस्म के सितारे होते हैं, एक इनफिरादी होता है और एक मुज्तमाई या इज्तिमाई होता है, इंडिविजुअल और कलेक्टिव। हमारा जो सितारा है वो जमाती लेवल पर होता है, यानी कि इज्तिमाई है, कलेक्टिव है। ये एक आदमी अकेला भी कर सकता है, एक फैमिली भी कर सकती है, एक छोटा सा ग्रुप भी कर सकता है और एक जमात भी कर सकती है। और उसके अंदर कोई पाबंदी या लिमिट नहीं है, कोई भी कर सकता है। जिस तरह से हमारे पुराने जमाने में हमारी बहनें, हमारी माएँ 7 दिन झाड़ू मारने का, जमात खाना जाकर 7 दिन तक जमात खाना साफ करने का सतारा डालती। कुछ खवातीन मिलकर 7 दिन तक जमात खाने जाकर तस्बीह निकालती और जमात खाने की सफाई यानी कि झाड़ू मारती। ये उनका 7 दिन का सतारा होता। लेकिन वो 2-4 औरतें किसी मोहल्ले से मिलकर या 2-4 औरतें किसी फैमिली के अंदर या 2-4 औरतें फ्रेंडशिप सर्कल के अंदर वो जाकर ये काम करती। और उसके लिए कोई पाबंदी नहीं है, कोई लिमिट नहीं है, कोई लिमिट नहीं है। So the last example I had given in Urdu here, that in our old days, I'm sure it still happens, where Jamaat Khanas are open 24 hours a day. In all countries where Jamaat Khanas are always open. Then especially with our ladies, our sisters, our mothers, they would have an intention, a itikaf, a satara of 7 days in which they would go to Jamaat Khana, whatever time they wanted to go, and they will do some tasbih sitting in Jamaat Khana, and then they will do sweep, yani कि वो झाड़ू मारती. They would clean Jamaat Khana, and they would do it individually or as a family, 2-3 women in a family, 5-10 women in a family, or within a neighborhood or within a friend circle, they would do that. And they will do that for 7 days. The niyat would be, the intention would be to go to Jamaat Khana for 7 days in middle of the day, do some tasbih, zikr, combinedly or individually, and then clean Jamaat Khana, give some service quietly because there would be no one else in Jamaat Khana, and they would do some prayers and they would come home. And that was very common in our time. And I'm sure this is still happening in those areas where Jamaat Khanas are within the neighborhood, within the colony, and the Jamaat Khanas are open 24 hours a day. So they could go and do that anytime they wish to do it. Very common. Now, let's come to Satara of 7 days in our Jamaat Khana as combined intention of doing something. As we see, there are 3 kinds of Satara in our Tariqa. Mushkil Asan Satara. Within the Mushkil Asan Satara, there can be like 2 or 3 times a year, Mukhi Sahib would offer 7 days of Satara for Jamaat Mushkil Asan without anyone asking for it, without any individual asking for it. Just a Satara for Mushkil Asan. Before we go further than this, why not just ask for Mushkil Asan every single day? Why do Satara? Why establish Satara? Why do it for 7 days? It has a dual purpose and dual benefit. Dual purpose and dual benefit. What is a dual purpose? To draw extra attention toward collective ibadat. When Satara is established, you would see more and more Jamaat would come. They will take extraordinary time, effort to come to Jamaat Khana. So there's one purpose. There is a dual benefit of that. Because we are combinedly asking for Mushkil Asan, there may be one member amongst the Jamaat, one family amongst the Jamaat, or one area where Ismaili lives amongst the Jamaat. They may have extra hardship or they are going through some kind of mushkilat, test, trials. They will find the comfort and they would find benefit in this sataras, this establish of satara. And they will find peace of heart that not only he or them, but the entire Jamaat is asking for Mushkil Asan. And when we do that, special blessings from the heaven of the Imam. The love of the Imam, the mercy and the blessings of Imam overshadow us and gives us comfort in his mercy. Is not that mushkil will go away, but the ease of that mushkil, strength to deal with that mushkil, comfort and peace in that mushkil would come with the mercy of the Imam. And that is how Imam helps the Jamaat. That is how Mukhi Kamriya become mindful of the mushkilat of the Jamaat. And this is offered without anyone asking, but the purpose is dual, so is the benefit. Then there are individual satara for mushkil asan. Here again, there are two kind of sataras. Mushkil asan satara as by individual can be for a family mushkil asan or someone who is fallen a sick for their mushkil asan, or someone who is at the dead bed for the nijat, salvation of the soul of that mu'min. A family can ask for satara. If it is for the one person who has fallen sick and there is no chance of surviving, then niyat is what? You see how the niyat changes? Because satara is literally means intention, niyat for something. In that niyat is, Ya Mola, have mercy on his soul as he cannot survive, or the pain and suffering that this moment is going through. Have mercy on his soul and take him and bring him closer to your nur and didar. He is ready to come to you. That is the niyat there. If somebody has fallen sick, but there is a chance of surviving, then same satara. Niyat is what? Ya Mola, help this member, this mu'min in our Jamaat, as he is going through this sickness, so he may come through this test easily. Give him strength. That is the niyat. If this is a mushkil asan, due to something happening in a particular area, city, country. For example, we are Satara for Afghan Jamaat. We are Satara for Syria Jamaat. Or if there is a flood in Dhaka, Satara for the Bangladesh Jamaat. It now is not about an individual or individual family, but for the entire Jamaat of a particular region. Here, the niyat, intention, is the important thing to understand. What is the niyat? What is the intention? Because on the surface, all satara looks the same. Same tasbih, same dua, same intention, same gathering of the Jamaat, but in the back, each satara has its own niyat, and the purpose and the end result is predefined. The niyat and the end result is predefined. What is the niyat? What do we want? How do you want to see this at the end? That is the intention niyat that we should know and we should well understand. And then when we become part of that Jamaat, part of that satara, part of those tasbiyat, part of those dua, because we are doing something with understanding fully, it would have more effect, more understanding, and the end result would be more peaceful and more blessed because we understood what we are doing. Ilm and then amal. We must learn and understand before we take the action. And that is what we should do when we join a satara. What is this satara for? If it's individually, okay, what for? If it's a collective, okay, what is it for? If it's for a region, okay, what is it for? Understand that, and then with full understanding and with the full of your heart, you take part in that satara. आप यहां तक समझ गए कि मुश्किल आसान के जो सतारे होते हैं वो कोई मुखी साहब साल में 2-3 मरतबा जमात की तरफ से आम मुश्किल आसान के सतारे डालते हैं ताकि जो कोई भी मुश्किल में हो मुला उसकी मुश्किल को आसान करे उसमें कोई एक आदमी या एक फैमिली आगे नहीं आती है वो तमाम के लिए होता है और अगर उसके दरमियान में कोई फैमिली या कोई एक आदमी या कोई एक छोटा सा एरिया मुश्किल के अंदर है तो इस मुश्किल आसान के सतारे से उनको सब्र और हिम्मत मिलती है ये देखकर ये सोचकर ये सुनकर कि पूरी जमात हमारे लिए मौला के हुजूर में दुआ करती है और मौला की मेहरबानी उन पर ज्यादा उतरती है ऐसा नहीं है कि मुश्किल चले जाएंगी मुश्किलात तो अपनी जगह पर है लेकिन उसका सामना करने के लिए हमारे अंदर हिम्मत पैदा होती है हमारे दिल में सुकून पैदा होता है जिसकी वजह से हम इन मुश्किलात का सामना बआसानी कर सकते हैं बआसानी कर सकते हैं Now let's come to our last part of this. Baitul Khyal Satara. As we already understand, what is the intention? Baitul Khyal Satara is for the dual purpose again, practice of coming to morning Jamaat Khana. The purpose is so we may practice, and hope is that after coming for 7 days, you will continue to come to Jamaat Khana. Unfortunately, you will see thousands and thousands and thousands of people, Jamaat, will come to Baitul Khal Satara for 7 days. After 7 days is over, it would go back to the normal Hazri, normal attendance as before. You know why that happens? Why do you think that happens? Because we go to Satara without understanding why this Satara was established. What was the purpose of this Satara? The Satara's purpose was to give you chance to practice with others of coming to morning Jamaat Khana. So you may establish a habit of waking up early and coming to morning Jamaat Khana. That was the intention and niyat. That was the purpose of Baitul Khiyal Satara. Not understanding that, and without knowing why we are going to Baitul Khiyal Satara in the morning, defeats the purpose. After 7 days, all of those Satara going Jamaat is back in their homes and sleeping. All those normally comes to morning Jamaat Khana continues to come to Jamaat Khana. The entire purpose and the practice of Satara gone. Defeats the purpose. Second mistake that Jamaat makes, and that is they come to 3 o'clock in Jamaat Khana, 3 o'clock in the morning for Satara, Ginan, Giryawzari, Tasbih. What was the purpose? So you may become regular in your ibadat. It's called Betul Khiyal Satara. But as soon the 4 o'clock hits, half of the Jamaat gone. Half of the Jamaat go home and sleep. Completely defeating the purpose. Completely misunderstanding the purpose of Satara. Purpose of Betul Khiyal Satara. Completely missing it. Because the understanding, the ilm was not there. Purpose was not to get you up from your bed and bring you to Jamaat Khana at 3 o'clock and just for the tasbih and then go home and sleep. Purpose was to get you in a habit of sitting in ibadat. Invite you to make a habit, a practice of coming to Jamaat Khana in the morning for ibadat. If you coming to Jamaat Khana 3 and leaving at 4 o'clock, that shows that you are not understanding what is the purpose of this satara. This purpose was not to get you out of the bed for the ginan and tasbih. Purpose was to bring you to Jamaat Khana so you sit in ibadat and build a habit, a practice of 7 days, and hope that you will continue after that. Otherwise, there is no reason to get up early in the morning and come to Baitul Khayal and not do ibadat. And look at the name, Baitul Khayal Satara. Satara to get you in practice of ibadat, to build a habit. आखिरी जो बच गया वो बैतुल ख्याल का सतारा. बैतुल ख्याल का सतारा इसलिए डाला जाता है ताकि वो जमात जो सुबह को इबादत की प्रैक्टिस में नहीं है, जिनकी आदत नहीं है सुबह को जल्दी उठकर जमात खाने आकर इबादत करें, उनकी आदत दिलाने के लिए, उनको इबादत की प्रैक्टिस कराने के लिए, उनको ये बताने के लिए, समझाने के लिए और मदद के लिए कि आओ हम 7 दिन तक इसकी प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, फिर तुम्हारी आदत पड़ जाएगी और फिर तुम रोजाना जमात खाने आकर इबादत करना. लेकिन क्या होता है, चूंकि इल्म और समझ नहीं है इस बात की, हजारों लोग जमात बैतुल ख्याल के सतारे में 3 बजे पहुंच जाते हैं. बहुत ही शौक और लगन से गिनान पढ़ते हैं, तस्वीर में शामिल होते हैं, लेकिन जैसा ही 4 बजते हैं भाग जाते हैं, घर पे जाके सो जाते हैं. यानी कि जिस चीज के लिए आप आए थे वो क्या थी, वो इबादत थी. ये इबादत का सतारा था कि आप 7 दिन तक इबादत करें ताकि आपकी प्रैक्टिस हो जाए. और आपने क्या किया कि इबादत का जब वक्त आया तो आप भाग गए. तो फायदा क्या हुआ 3 बजे आने का, क्योंकि ये प्रैक्टिस जो थी, ये सतारा जो था, वो तो इबादत की प्रैक्टिस करने का सतारा था. फिर 7 दिन पूरे हो गए तो आपने देखा कि वो लोग जो सिर्फ सतारे में आने वाले हैं, क्योंकि उनको पता नहीं कि इसका मतलब क्या था. सतारे का मतलब ही यही था कि 7 दिन प्रैक्टिस करें फिर आते रहना. लेकिन जब 8वां दिन आता है तो वही जमात जो पहले आती थी रोजाना वही आती है, और बाकी जो सतारे में आने वाले थे वो सब के सब गायब हो जाते हैं. यानी कि जो नियत और जो उसका मकसद था वो तो पीछे रह गया. शायद हमारे पास इस बात की समझ नहीं है, इल्म नहीं है, हमें किसी ने बताया नहीं या हमने सोचा नहीं. हम 7 दिन आए और चले इबादत भी की, लेकिन 8वें दिन फिर नहीं आए. यहाँ 7 दिन तक आए 3 बजे और 4 बजे भाग गए. जबकि सतारा इसलिए नहीं था कि आप 3 बजे आपको उठाकर नींद में से और जमात खाने लाकर एक गिनान पढ़कर एक तस्बीह करके फिर आप जाके घर पे सो जाए. ये मकसद था ही नहीं. मकसद क्या था कि आप इबादत करें, और मकसद ये था कि इबादत की प्रैक्टिस करें, और मकसद ये था कि इबादत करने की आदत डालें, आदत डालें. ये मकसद था. तो आपने देखा कि हम बहुत सारी ऐसी हरकत करते हैं, वो इल्म ना होने की वजह से करते हैं, ना समझी की वजह से करते हैं। हम समझते नहीं है कि सजाने का मकसद क्या था, इसलिए हम करते हैं। लेकिन इंशाल्लाह अब हम इस बात को समझ गए हैं। आइंदा जब सितारा पड़ेगा तो ना सिर्फ हम सितारे में आएंगे, बल्कि 4 बजे की इबादत में भी बैठेंगे, और फिर 7 दिन के बाद जमात खाने की आने की आदत पड़ गई होगी, और हम कंटिन्यू इबादत करने के लिए बाकायदगी से जमात खाने में आकर इबादत में शामिल हो गए, ताकि इमाम हमसे खुश हो जाए और हमारी इस नीयत को कबूल फरमाए। The only reason I can think of that we do those things, that we come 7 days and then do not come after that, because we have not understood the intention, the purpose of Baitul Kal Satara. Or we come 3 o'clock, and as soon 4 o'clock hits, we go home and sleep, because we do not understand what was the purpose of it. But the prayer and hope is that now that we understand, we will not do that. We would come to Satara, build a habit, stay for ibadat, and then continue to come for ibadat after that. That is our short subject of 7-day Satara, the purpose, the intention, the niyat, and the benefit at the end. Both Nawazish. Let me stop here so we may have some time for comments and question.
जी सर, सवाल sir. So hopefully we will not fool ourselves. Okay, friends, please share your questions in the chat, or you can use the hand raise features to ask question. Sir, we don't have any question in the chat at this time. Friends, you can unmute your device if you have any questions.
याली मदद
That
एक छोटा सा कमेंट है कि सत्ताला उसके लिए भी होता है कि जो रोज इबादत करता है तो उसको नूर के दीदार होने का चांस होता है। बस यही बोलना था।
was Nawazish. Any comments, any question, friends? If there are no comments, that means everyone understood this very easily and very clearly. And inshallah, in the future, we will do this nicely, neatly, and for the purpose that we have woken up early. G.
Yeah, I'm there, sir.
Yali Madad.
Just commenting on the previous gentleman who was saying about progress in Ibadat, just remember the historical fact. Pir Hassan Kabiruddin, when he went to see the Imam, and Imam was not giving permission, he stayed outside the palace of the Imam for 6 months and 6 days, composing the Anantakaro and Giryazari, and eventually he was blessed with the uh, didar and physical didar in presence of Imam. Just a comment again.
Thank you. G.
All right, so we have a question in the chat. During Sadara, is it true that meat dishes should be avoided?
Actually, regarding meat, if we are avoiding meat just during the Satara, which is good, it's not a bad thing. But avoiding meat most of the time, all of the time, especially if you are ibadat guzar mu'min, who does ibadat all the time, why would you benefit from this habit of not eating meat for 7 days and then not continue that? Remember, Satada is the purpose of building a habit, a practice. So let's say you don't eat meat and you go to 7 days Jamaat Khana, Satara. So you're saying it would benefit me for those 7 days? Yes, definitely. But what about after that? It was not about 7 days. Again, we are defeating the purpose. It was not about 7 days. It was about building a habit, a lifetime habit. Because eating meat in excessive amount, let me add that to it. Eating meat on daily basis or in excessive amount is never good. So if you're going to build a habit of not eating meat, just like you are building habit to do the ibadat, then don't stop after 7 days. Continue. If it's a good thing for your soul, for your ibadat, continue that habit. Continue that practice. Because if you understand that eating meat is a hindrance to my ibadat, then why would you go back to it? Continue the practice. That is the whole purpose of Satara. Thank you for asking, G.
So, another question. What's Satara mean for those who have been regular in Bandagi?
Not too much. Because Satara again is to build habit. If you are already in habit of Satara, of Ibadat, then this Satara could give you some benefit, a boost. For example, because instead of coming at 3:45, because you are coming to Jamaat Khana at 3:15, hopefully for you, you will build a habit of coming to Jamaat Khana early, doing some Giryawzari as we do during the Satara, doing some Tazwiyat as we do during the Satara, before you start your Ibadat. So you could benefit from it by building that habit of coming early to Jamaat Khana. But again, if you don't do that after 7 days, then again you have defeated the purpose. There would be no benefit to you. It's all about building our habits. G.
So the question we have is eating meat a hindrance for Ibadat practice? If yes, can you please explain more?
G. You will find some old Faramin, but very particular Faramin of Imam Aka Sultan Muhammad Shah, Salawatullah alayhi, may our soul be sacrificed to that Imam, had talked about eating meat. When we eat excessively, especially the red meat, meaning cow meat, it brings animal soul in us. And if you understand, we have 4 levels four kinds of soul: the mineral soul, the vegetative soul, the animal soul, and human soul. When we excessively eat red meat, it brings our level of animal soul higher and surpass the human soul, because you have increased the level of animal soul in you. So Imam has guided us that you should practice, not that you don't eat meat. You can continue to eat meat, and meat has its own benefits. But when we excessively eat meat, our animal soul, the level of animal soul gets increased, and that becomes hindrance in our ibadat. Because what we need rational soul, the human soul, to be at the highest level, so we can do ibadat. So again, during the satara, not eating meat is for the purpose, the practice of not eating meat, or eating meat in a very limited manner. Don't eat red meat excessively. It's not good for your health, and it's definitely not good for your spiritual health, the ibadat. Ji.
Right, so another question. Is morning satara is also for the uplifting of soul?
Yeah, we already answered that. Yes.
All right, so another question. What specific Kriya Zari Tasbih wordings are used for asking dua for non-regular goers during Satara to continue going to Jamaat Khana?
All of that is already encompassed in our Satara Tasbih and Gnans. So this question is already been answered through those tasbihat, where we ask Mola Bapa to give us tawfiq, ta'id, himmat wa yari, give us courage and strength to come to morning Jamaat Khana for ibadat. So all of those du'as are already there. Giryazari is very individual and personal. You should ask Mola Bapa with some shedding of tears. Then Mola Bapa, I'm so weak and I do not understand too much. So give me strength. Teach me from inside myself and give me that extraordinary courage and strength. But you have to shed some tears for that. And when you do that, Imam will help you and give you that courage and strength to continue to come to Jamaat Khana for Ibadat and build their habit. And you can use whatever word, because that is a communication between a son and a father, a mu'min and his murshid. Ji.
All right, so friends, you can unmute your device if you have any questions.
Very
Right, so
good.
it looks like we don't have any questions.
Very good. We can stop here. Thank you everyone for joining us. May Mola's blessing, Rahmat, Khanavadan be on you, and may you continue to progress in your ibadat and in your spiritual life. Ameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Thank you, everyone. Yali
Thank
Madad,
you.
Yali
Thank you.
Madad,
Yani Madad.
Thank you
Yeah,
and
Limit.
Yali Madad.
Yali
Good.
Madad.